Beyoncé breaks silence on Jay-Z's victory.
Beyoncé is reportedly feeling a sense of relief after a lawsuit accusing her husband Jay-Z was dismissed.
Just to have someone that you just like, you know?
An insider dished that relief is too simple a word to describe what Bey is feeling right now after Jay's current legal issues were dropped.
Relief is too simple a word to describe what Bey is feeling right now.
You know, we were friends first, and that foundation is so important in a relationship.
Translation, she's doing the happy dance. I mean, seriously, can we just take a moment to appreciate everything Beyoncé juggles? From dropping hit after hit to being a global icon and raising 3 kids, the woman is a superhero.
I'm a naturally happy person, so I would come home with the swollen eyes, and I was really, really different.
This whole mess was probably the last thing she needed on her plate. Apparently, it dredged up some old memories of when Jay had previously broken her trust. And let's be real, nobody wants a flashback to the Lemonade era.
Still inside me, coiled deep, was the need to know. Are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me?
Plus, the source said it even affected the kiddos, which is a major mama bear trigger. Jay-Z fires back. No settlement, no red penny, just pure triumph. Jay-Z himself released a statement expressing a mix of relief and frustration, highlighting the toll the situation took on his entire family. But that's not all, folks. Jay-Z didn't hold back, claiming a lawyer of trying to leverage him, calling the allegations frivolous, fictitious, and appalling. He said he's ready to expose you for the deception you are in a very public fashion, and declared he wouldn't give him 1 red penny.
Sometimes people say things because they don't want to get themselves in a PR disaster.
In response to these claims, Jay-Z issued a warning that he'd have to explain to his children the cruelty and greed of people. His attorney, Alex Spiro, also chimed in, emphasizing that Jay pushed back, he never settled, he never paid 1 red penny, he triumphed and cleared his name. Jay-Z takes a stand, demanding answers and refusing to settle. According to reports, Jay-Z received 2 demand letters from Busby in November 2024, one related to the dismissed case and another concerning an unnamed individual's claims about an incident at a 2015 gathering. Jay-Z's team requested the case be dropped or for the individual's identity to be revealed, while also stating that Busby has a pattern of pursuing high-profile figures with unsubstantiated claims for financial benefit, describing this case as an attempt to challenge someone unwilling to settle. Initially filed against Sean Diddy Combs, the lawsuit added Jay-Z in December, referencing an alleged incident after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Beyoncé's back on top. Grammys, love, and world domination. Like the queen she is, Beyoncé was reportedly ready to stand by her man, channeling her inner ride or die.
Beyoncé is reportedly standing by her husband, Jay-Z, amid shocking allegations.
Now that the cloud has lifted, Bey can get back to world domination, which includes her upcoming tour, her expanding business empire, and being the ultimate wife and mom. And did we mention she recently snagged a few more Grammys?
Celebrating with husband Jay-Z and daughter Blue Ivy in the audience.
Wow, I really was not expecting this.
She's officially the most awarded woman in Grammy history, people. Bow down. The source also noted that the timing couldn't be better, with Love in the Air month giving the Carters a chance to focus on love and family without any extra baggage. Jay-Z calls out shady claims, defends his family, and stands strong, while the Carters keep winning. So here's the scoop. Busby, representing the person behind the claims, says it all went down at an after-party that night. Fast forward a bit, and Jay-Z finally speaks up, calling out the lawyer's moves, denying the claims, and of course, making it clear how much this whole mess is stressing his family. Diddy's lawyer wasn't having it either, throwing shade at the lawyer for cooking up a case with some pretty sketchy ingredients. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's team hit up the courts in December, asking for the case to get tossed or for the person's real name to be put out there. They were like, Carter deserves to know who's throwing these wild claims around, demanding all this money and trying to mess with his rep. Jay-Z didn't hold back either, straight up saying, "My lawyer got a demand letter from this lawyer named Tony Busby." He also got real about the family situation, saying, "My only heartbreak is for my family." All that being said, it's a tough moment for them, but we all know Beyoncé and Jay-Z are the ultimate power couple. Nothing knocks them down for long. So let's shake off the drama and just vibe to their music, yeah?
They will stand by Jay-Z despite allegations against him.
Beyonce has been left upset and concerned after a judge chose not to throw out rape claims filed against her husband.
Superstar Beyonce is reportedly standing by her husband, Jay-Z, amid shocking rape allegations.
Sources have said that Beyonce was heartbroken after hearing the age of the girl making accusations against Jay-Z. She's decided, regardless of this, she'll be sticking by her husband just like she did when he stepped out on their marriage before.
Just to have someone that you just like, you know?
So you might be wondering how old the girl was when this incident happened. She was just 13 years old.
A Jane Doe in a lawsuit says the assault happened at an after-party.
After several attempts through Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, to get rid of the case or force the woman to be publicly identified, Judge Annalisa Torres sided with the girl, granting the woman anonymity for the next stage of proceedings. A source revealed although Beyonce is heartbroken about all of this, she said the only thing she can do is stay by her man's side. She also believes that it never happened.
You know, we were friends first, and that foundation is so important in a relationship.
But she's concerned because the accuser is actually the same age as her daughter, Blue Ivy. I'm going to read you guys the statement that the source said. She 1000% believes him, but it is very messed up to deal with, not only because everything is in the public eye, but as a mother of a daughter at a similar age to the accuser at the time, it is heartbreaking. Beyonce, who's been blessed with a life where she usually has control of her own narrative, now has to deal with this. And there isn't anything she can do except support her man, be there for each other as the legal side of things go through its motions. The insider added that Beyonce has accepted that there isn't much she can do to help right now. Her husband is seen by the world in a very negative light. They continue to say it is a lot to deal with, and for her to try to think on ways to help the situation is tiring, especially when she can only literally do a certain amount of things that may sway the public's perception. She will be by Jay-Z's side throughout, and she's really starting to accept that that's all she can really do. They noted that she's keen to get back to her normal life as soon as possible, saying that she's praying that this will all be over soon and isn't dragged out. Everyone wants to get back to their life and everyone wants to be happy. A second source noted that the case had caused a lot of emotional dismay for Beyonce. They explained while at first she was going to go into overdrive to try and show what a good man her husband is, she has now decided to take a different approach. She knows that she must let this play out and not try to get involved anymore because it really does not involve her at all, they stated. So because of the nature of what happened, I have to change the wording of what happened. But some of the things that came up, I'm not allowed to mention, but the accuser was only 13 years old at the time of the alleged incident. Now she's being referred to as Jane Doe. It happened at a 2000 MTV Music Video Awards after party in New York. She was first approached by Diddy, and then the incident happened with both of them. Obviously, Jay-Z is denying these claims, but his denies are kind of sus because his lawyer has said that him and Diddy were never even friends and there's no friendship there. And it's public knowledge that this isn't true. So if you're starting your defense off with lies, it's obviously not a great defense. The woman, who was only 13 years old at the time, was pretty much tricked into going into this party, allegedly. She was given things to alter her state of mind, allegedly, and then the unthinkable happened with Diddy, Jay-Z, and a female celebrity was watching. She was allegedly completely taken advantage of. Also, I'm not sure if you guys know of Tony Busby, but he is one of the coolest lawyers around. Saying his name literally gives me goosebumps because he's so passionate about helping people who deserve it get justice. Anyway, Tony Busby is Jane Doe's lawyer. Tony's lawsuit against Jay-Z is part of a series of civil cases he filed against Diddy, who remains jailed in New York as he awaits trial on the crazy federal charges that we all know about. Jay-Z said the lawsuit against him is part of an extortion attempt, and then spoke about how Tony tried to blackmail him. I mean, after Jay-Z said he wasn't friends with Diddy at all, there's no friendship, I don't really believe anything he says, personally. This is what Jay-Z had to say about Tony Busby. He said, "I have no idea how you have come to be such a bad human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity." The awesome Tony Busby, a well-known name in Texas courtrooms who has won billions of dollars in settlements for his clients, has said his firm is representing more than 150 people, both men and women, who have had things happen to them by Diddy. Busby's firm, which has set up a 1-800 for accusers, has alleged that many of the people he represents were taken advantage of at parties in New York, California, Florida, where individuals were given things to alter their state of mind and then taken advantage of. Diddy's lawyers have dismissed Busby's lawsuits as shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them. In the lawsuit against Jay-Z, Tony claimed he tried to mess with him and his client over the incident said to have happened at a 2000 VMAs after party, but this has backfired by emboldening them to take the case to court. Tony also said he is very proud of his client's resolve. He also said instead of talking to the media about it, they're going to take it to court and let the filings speak for themselves. He also said that they won't get bogged down in a silly slideshow and try to make the lawyers focus on what are very serious allegations brought by a very courageous woman. So, to distract herself from the mess of everything, Beyonce had a Christmas performance for the NFL. A separate insider explained that Beyonce was able to use the high-profile performance to take her mind off of her personal life and to remind people that she's still the best performer in music today, at least in her own mind. The source continued to say one major and wonderful turnout from her performance was that it gave her some time to not worry about anything that Jay is going through with the lawsuit. She was so consumed with her performance, so concerned with Blue Ivy, and so consumed with all the details of the performance that it took away any thoughts of the mess that they will be dealing with as a family over the next few months. They continued.
Why people think celebrities are forced to thank Beyonce.
Beyonce, whoo!
Miley Cyrus made people laugh at the 2025 Grammys.
Good evening, Grammys. We won, Beyonce.
But that's not all she did. She also reignited a wild fan theory that celebrities feel almost obligated to mention Beyonce in their acceptance speeches. When Miley got up to present Record of the Year, she joked she might announce Beyoncé as the winner, even if it wasn't really her category to claim.
The Grammy goes to, even if it's not you, Beyonce, I might just say this.
The crowd ate it up, but social media lost its mind, linking back to an older rumor that big-time stars are practically under some spell to praise Queen Bey publicly. Some watchers pointed out how Miley even gave a playful, "We won, Beyoncé," shout earlier that night, stoking speculation further. While on the surface it seemed like good-natured humor, fans quickly turned it into a bigger conversation. Are they all just paying tribute out of sheer love? Or is there a deeper sense that failing to mention Beyoncé could be a major career faux pas? People have been circling this theory for ages, whether it's the unforgettable moment in 2017 when Adele dedicated her Album of the Year win to Beyoncé.
My idol is Queen Bee and I adore you.
Or Lizzo's heartfelt, "Thank you, Beyoncé." In 2023, the pattern feels too consistent to ignore. Some believe this is all about acknowledging her monstrous influence in music, like a courtesy gesture. Others claim it's a borderline fear, where not acknowledging her might risk the wrath of the Bayhive or even bigger industry repercussions. Whatever the reason, Miley's little remark has turned a casual rumor into prime Grammy night chatter. This "thank you, Beyoncé" phenomenon isn't brand new. It's popped up countless times, from major awards to random speeches.
Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her.
Fans joke that it's as if winners have a mental checklist: spouse, parents, dog, and oh, definitely Beyoncé. The star's fans are a massive, passionate force, so ignoring her might carry consequences. But does that mean stars genuinely feel forced to name drop her? Or is it more about universal respect for someone who consistently breaks records and sets creative standards? Some TikTok users have labeled the repeated references as comedic gold, quipping, "Wait, if you forget to say her name, do they revoke your Grammy?" No one's come forward claiming that literally happened, but it's still a running gag. The bigger question is whether these tributes are genuine, or if peer pressure in an industry that worships stardom just compels artists to keep her name in the conversation. More fans claim that ignoring Beyoncé is a career risk, and if you skip her name, you might get side-eyed by key industry players. Miley's playful quip about awarding her a trophy that wasn't hers to begin with was both a nod to Beyoncé's star power and an unintentional fueling of the hype that she's basically music royalty. So how did this theory about people having to thank Beyoncé snowball into near legend status? For many, the spark was Adele's heartfelt 2017 Grammy acceptance speech, where she literally said she couldn't accept the award because Beyoncé deserved it more. That moment felt unbelievably sincere, like Adele truly worshipped Bey. Then Lizzo hopped on the bandwagon in 2023, giving one of those "I wouldn't be here without you" Beyoncé speeches. Even JoJo Siwa once thanked Beyoncé at the Industry Dance Awards, "So we can keep the dancing community safe." An oddly comedic moment that left people scratching their heads. All these references started to look like a pattern. Like every big star needed to slip in a "thank you, Beyoncé" for good luck. Naturally, the internet ran with it, stirring up theories. One user half-joked that maybe Jay-Z is behind it all, reminding folks that he once orchestrated scenes where people had to cheer for his wife. Another pointed to the 2009 MTV VMAs meltdown when Kanye West interrupted Taylor Swift to say Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
Maybe that was the birth of it all. The universe decided no one with a microphone can ignore Queen Bey's existence. While some folks see these tributes as a silly thing, the fact remains that star after star lines up to praise her, even if she's nowhere near that category or project. And that cycle keeps the rumor going strong.
It looks like we're witnessing the downfall of Beyoncé and Jay-Z right before our eyes.
Beyoncé's 2025 tour and Christmas NFL show in jeopardy. Allegations against Jay-Z have sparked speculation.
Jay-Z has just been charged for raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy.
Jay-Z and Beyonce have many conspiracy theories recently with all of this stuff that has come out against Diddy.
Bey and Jay are one of the most dominant power couples, so her name has already been dragged into online speculation.
Beyonce had a reported tour coming up, as well as some pretty big performances that were planned. And then, before all of that could happen, all these new claims about Jay-Z, her husband, and how he's connected to Diddy and how he did some stuff alongside Diddy in the past.
Jay-Z now accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000.
This is a huge blow to Jay-Z and Beyonce's reputation, like no joke. And it's most likely going to cost them millions of dollars in legal fees. And ultimately, if these claims turn out to be true, they could be locked up for the rest of their lives.
Sometimes people say things because they don't want to get themselves in a PR disaster.
It's just not looking good for Beyonce and Jay-Z at all. And what makes this even more sad is the fact that they have kids who could lose their parents forever. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they have built a multi-billion-dollar empire, and so many people have looked up to them over the years. They have been a huge inspiration, and they've accomplished so much in the music business. But now their secrets are being leaked publicly. So now when we look at what Beyonce was about to do, like Beyonce is incredible. She had a huge Renaissance tour, and she was actually planning to tour again in 2025 and also perform at the Christmas 2024 NFL game. But now all of that's on hold because of this drama with Jay-Z. Apparently, she was supposed to be performing at the Houston Texans and Baltimore Ravens game on Christmas Day and hitting the road next year for a tour. But again, nothing official about that was announced, but this was what people were speculating just based off of some insider information. But now with Jay-Z being sued for doing stuff to a 13-year-old back in 2000 alongside Diddy, like even though Beyonce had nothing to do with it, apparently, well, her name is getting dragged into it because, of course, Jay-Z is her husband. And what do spouses do? Oftentimes cover for their partner. There was one source that reported to the Sun publication, and this is what they said. B and J are one of the most dominant power couples on the globe. So even though the claim has nothing to do with her, her name had already been dragged into online speculation. Now, this is a messy situation, and who knows how it's gonna completely affect Beyonce and what she had planned. And the source also went on to say, the plan was for Beyonce to perform a new song during her Christmas Day halftime show before kicking off a new era. Beyonce has Act 3 of her 3-act album saga to announce, as well as a huge stadium tour. If you guys didn't already know, Beyonce's new tour that was supposed to be coming up is all about celebrating her latest album called Cowboy Carter. Now, the tour was to kick off on Christmas Day 2024 and launch into 2025, which was definitely going to be a huge deal for her fans. And also, the first performance was supposed to be streamed on Netflix. But like I said, Beyonce hasn't officially announced the tour yet, but people close to her have confirmed that it's definitely happening. But again, now we just don't know if she's gonna follow through with it. At first, she was planning on just 5 dates at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. But because so many people would wanna see her perform, they're probably gonna add more shows in other cities. And I mean, this would be huge because it would really help launch Beyonce in a new era of her career, because Cowboy Carter is the second part of Beyonce's Renaissance album, which came out in March of 2024. It's a mix of country, R&B, folk music, and a lot of people loved it. Some people weren't crazy about it, but hey, it really launched Beyonce as a country artist, which was so surprising, and her fans loved it. Most of her fans anyways. So it would definitely be interesting to see what Beyonce had in store with her Renaissance Act 3. And this is why people are calling this the downfall of Beyonce and Jay-Z, because all of the stuff that she had planned likely won't happen, as well as now Jay-Z is tied up in this whole Diddy stuff. And there's some accusations saying that he forced a 13-year-old to do certain acts with him at an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards that Diddy was hosting. But Jay-Z's team says that this is all a lie, and they're really trying to get these claims completely thrown out. Now, this does come as a big surprise for a lot of people, but many others saw this coming a mile away, especially after celebrities like Cat Williams as well as Jaguar Wright began talking about celebrities like Jay-Z and Beyonce and about them getting exposed real soon. Especially given that Jay-Z and Beyonce have a close connection to Diddy. Like, they literally have so many images and clips together with him. And this does not seem like some ordinary friendship. Like, they have a real close bond. And as the old saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. And people online are also claiming that Jay-Z's downfall was also predicted earlier in 2024 by a celebrity astrologer, Sloan Bella. Now, in a video that a user, Khadijah Lynn, reposted, Sloan Bella mentioned that Jay-Z will have legal issues in November following someone other than who you might expect, right? So she clarifies that it's not Diddy, and she was unsure whether it was Chris Brown or Justin Bieber. And there was one user that commented and said, Sloan is the real deal. Her Kim Porter prediction is one of the many times she's nailed it. And then there's another user that said, how did she know this is gonna happen? While a third person said, stuff is getting spooky out here. So I'm not the biggest believer in psychics, but hey, Sloan Bella, she is a self-proclaimed psychic and astrologer to the stars. She lives in LA and she's a mom of 2. And her Facebook page says that she was born with psychic medium abilities and she's a modern day metaphysician, you know, whatever that means. But a lot of people are, you know, putting a lot of value into what she says because it turns out to be true, especially now seeing all of this stuff that's going on with Jay-Z. Now, what's surprising was back in 2023, this Sloan Bella person, she had some interesting thoughts about Diddy himself. She basically said that some higher ups in the music industry are throwing him under the bus. And in one video, she was like, they're gonna stitch his mouth shut because of his mentors and they don't want it coming out, even though some of these guys are outing themselves. So maybe she knows some insider details like Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams and others, but yeah, it sounds like, you know, her predictions, if you can call it that, are coming true. But regardless, wherever people heard it, they said that they saw this coming, and now Jay-Z and Beyonce's time has come. Jay-Z's lawyers want this case completely dropped though, or they want to know who this anonymous person is who's making these claims, because they only have been identified as Jane Doe, which of course is like a generic term for people that don't want to be identified. And they say that Jay-Z has the right to know who's making these claims, especially because this is a civil claim. They're getting sued, they're asking for a lot of money, and this is definitely going to hurt his reputation. So his lawyers also weren't happy with Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby. They say that he's known for getting big settlements from rich people who know Diddy. And they think that this whole thing is just a way to get back at Jay-Z for, I don't know, for whatever reason. Like, it's really just to hurt his character. That's what they're saying, at least. And they do bring up a good point, you know. There are some reasons why somebody would want to remain anonymous, but especially if you're making claims like this, I think it would be fair if the person making the claims did come forth. It's not to put any doubt on what they're saying, but it kind of is to put some doubt on what they're saying. Jay-Z also released a statement saying that they should file a non-civil claim based off of the accusations that are being made. This should not be a civil thing. This is completely non-civil. And Jay-Z says that he's completely innocent and he's ready to retaliate in any way that he can to just really shut down these rumors. This is definitely taking a toll on Jay-Z and Beyonce for sure. They're doing their best to keep themselves in the best spirit as possible. And something tells me that we are in for the surprise of our life, guys. Like, just how videos were released of Diddy doing some stuff and we're like, oh my goodness, he's guilty. Not saying that we're gonna see the same thing with Beyonce and Jay-Z, but something tells me that we're in for a big surprise.